What's up, everybody? Welcome to a nighttime edition of Driving with Duck. I am on my way to work. I work the overnights, as I've told y'all a million times. But Driving with Duck is always on Facebook, most of the time on YouTube, sometimes on IGTV. People go through things, right? People be going through it. People be in their feels. People be mad. People be upset. People be ready to dial it in, hang it up, whatever you want to call it. Life presents a whole list of challenges. People just go through it so much and they get so upset and they get angry. And I find myself standing among them on a lot of occasions, even when I make these videos. Sometimes I'll be going through it and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I need to talk to myself, so I'll find myself talking to you in a way of talking to myself. And sometimes when you're going through a problem, the answer will be staring you right in the face. The solution will be staring you right in the face. You just don't know how to go through it to get to it, right? Sometimes you got to work the plow, like I said in the previous video. It requires a lot of work to fix it. Sometimes in life, you're going to have to just put your nose to the grindstone and just put that work in, that sweat equity. And sometimes people don't want to do that. It requires a big-time solution. Now watch this. It's an interesting reason why I'm doing this video at night and why you can barely see my face. Because the answer is right in front of your face. Sometimes when you're going through it and life seems like it's the toughest thing that you're going through, and everyone's swirling around you, they're not listening to you, people are not paying attention to the words you're speaking, and it feels like you're literally telling everybody what you need and what you want, and people just brush you off, and people just laugh at you, and they pretend like you're not there, and they act like what you say doesn't matter and what you need doesn't matter. Sometimes the advocacy for yourself just isn't working. Sometimes the answer is going to be there, but you just can't see it. Just like you can't see me in front of you. Now you can hear me talking, albeit my volume level, depending on how well you can hear. Some of you, I might be in your earbuds. Some of you might have me on speaker. The varying levels to which you can hear me are different. But the conversation is still the same. Albeit this is a monologue, you can't talk back to me and I can't hear you. The varying degrees to which you see me are different. Some of you may be looking away from your phone. Some of you may be watching this video in full. Some of you may have your brightness turned up. Some of you may have your brightness all the way down. It depends on how well you can see me, but it's different for each person. All the situations that we all go through are different. Two people may be going through the exact same thing, but the amount of clarity that each person has within each situation is going to be different. But the answer that each person may seek may be at a different level of closeness. The one thing that is constant, that is the same, is that we all can get through to the other side of said problem through a solution. And the solution may not be exactly the solution that we want, nor the solution that we'd like to have happen. But it will always be the solution that we need, right? It's not going to always be what we want, because unfortunately you can always, take the loss, but you don't have to lose the lesson. There's always a lesson in a loss. There's always something to work on, always something to develop, because whenever you take a cut will heal, but the scar will toughen the skin. That's the best advice that I got when I was younger. Of course, I can't remember where I got the lesson from. And that's also another funny thing, now that I think about it, to learn. The older you get, sometimes the biggest L's you take, you don't even remember who gave you that L. See, that's how you know that you're growing as a person. When you're going through it, you feel like that's the worst thing that could happen to you. But as you grow up and you gain experience, you don't even remember your biggest losses anymore. Unless it's a checkpoint. Like, there's some big things that you go through in life. Like, when you're a young buck, you're a young man, young woman, you feel like when you're going through, like, let's say a relationship, you're like, oh my God, I can't live without this person. We broke up. My heart is broken. I'll never love again. And the next thing you know, when you broke up with that person when you were 15 and they broke up with you, you thought that was your biggest loss. Now you're 21, 22 years old. You're in love with somebody new, and it's the best thing you've ever had happen to you. You know, you forgot all about that person. You may run into that person in the mall, may run into that person while you're out to eat with the love of your life. And you're like, hey, how are you? You see them, they're married, they have beautiful children. You can chop it up for a second and carry on about your day. Your heart may flutter for a second, thinking about that first note you passed in freshman year of high school. You may think about the first time you held hands at that football game. Your heart may flutter for a second, and boom, it's gone. You can think back and remember that L that you took, and you move on. Again, this video, this difference of the usual Driving with Doug videos is a lesson in and of itself. Sometimes the answer is right in front of you, but you can't see it. There's varying degrees to which you can see, but the answer is there. It's always going to be there. You just have to sometimes use your other senses in order to find it. It'll be there. You just have to have that knowledge of self. Now, me, I'm going through a growth process. And I'm being honest with myself. I've tried to be as honest as I can in these videos. I hate pretty much every aspect of my life right now. I'm not going to lie about that. I dislike almost everyone in it. And that's fine. That's okay. I can deal with that. I can live with that. I'm cutting the chaff off of my life. And I'm trying to start anew. I'm trying to build a bigger situation. I'm trying to do a full reset on myself and my life. Simply because I think every 3-4 years, I try and do a total reconstruct of my life to make myself better and more renewed and restored, in a sense, so that I can become the best version of myself that I need to be. And I find myself developing into a more angrier, direct person, simply because I'm tired of not being listened to. I've said for years, this is what I want, this is what I need in order to excel and be the best person that I can be. I've been tired of saying to people, this is what we need in order for this interpersonal relationship to develop and be the best that it can be. Because for you to have what you need from me, this is what I need in order to give that to you. You have two options in this interpersonal relationship. You can either take that as it is in order to optimize this relationship, or by all rights, you're more than welcome to walk away from this interpersonal relationship. The way that we exist right now, as friends, or as whatever this may be, you're more than welcome to walk away. However this interpersonal relationship relates, whether it be friends, co-workers, whatever the case may be. Whatever the stature in this situation is. Some people take it under advisement, some people don't. But when dealing with people, you always have to give them the choice. You can't make that choice for people. You have to leave them comfortable with that decision. You can't force somebody to choose a situation. It's never an ultimatum simply because it's a this or that thing, but at the same time, you can't make them feel guilty for their choice. You have to let them be okay with their decision. That's the point I'm trying to make. And at first, it's an ask. I'm asking you for this. I'm asking you for this. And the more uncomfortable I get, it became more of a direct I need. And then after the need, then it became a demand. And now it's like, okay, Now I'm no longer telling you what I need. I'm telling you what I demand. And now the answer is coming more to light as you can see me better. But this is what I demand and expect from this situation. So therefore, for me, in my life, this is what I need in order to grow. So I have a choice for myself. The way I choose to live my life, I offer a partnership, right, with everyone in my life. I align myself with people and I say, this is what I need to coexist with people. All of my interpersonal relationships with people in my life, I look at it as a relationship, right? An interpersonal relationship, no matter what level that looks like, I always say we work together in order for this to work. Whether it be co-parenting, whether it be a work relationship, whether it be a friendship, whatever that looks like. I always say it's a partnership, simply because I'm not the only one that has input. Everyone else has input. And I say, this is what I bring to the table, this is what you bring to the table. We both have to coexist and cohabitate in this partnership. Because if everything's about me and what I like and what I want, it's not going to work. When problems arise, there's a solution. Sometimes it's in front of your face. And you have to work together in order for that to prosper, right? It can't just be on one person. And as we all grow and move forward, sometimes the best solution is going to be in front of your face. You're just ignoring it and not looking at it for what it is. Simply put, sometimes the best solution is going to be something that is both necessary and needed, but you have to work with the person that is in front of you in order to make that relationship, interpersonal relationship, partnership prosper. Sometimes you're ignoring it because you're thinking it's something that you don't want to hear or deal with, but that's sometimes going to be what it takes. This has been another edition of Driving with Duck. On Facebook, hashtag Driving with Duck. You'll find all my other videos on YouTube. Drivin, no G, with space Duck. Hit the subscribe button. On Instagram, hashtag Driving with Duck or Duckbeard _ black. You'll find me there. I wish you the best week. Tomorrow's the start of a new work week. Have a great night. Sleep well. Love and light, my friends.